kind of clumsy, huh, boy?
Don't forget, I didn't handle the ball. I was a tackle.
That's right, Bob. They always went through you.
Is that so? Mother, we're waiting. Lucille, will you please hurry up? We're going to be late.
David Jefferson, please be quiet. The baby's sick.
I'm sorry.
Don't lose your temper, Pop. You know, today's Sunday.
Yes, I know, but this happens every Sunday. Every Sunday, I... See what I mean? 5 minutes to.
It'll only be 2 minutes. Why don't you start the motor or something? Bring the car around front.
Have I time to wash it?
That's very funny.
I think I better drive, Dad. You're a little nervous.
So I'll drive. I'm not nervous. Boys, I love your mother, but when I think of all the man hours that I've lost waiting for her, I could have...
You could have painted the house.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Joe. Good morning. Well, Chuck and Ben, it seems only yesterday that I baptized you two boys.
That's right, Father.
Our prayers go with you. You know that.
Thank you, Father. Where's John? Isn't he coming today?
Oh, well,
He was detained.
he'll probably be at the house for dinner.
May your guardian angels be right alongside you boys.
And if the going gets rough, I hope they're a little out in front of us, Father.
Yeah, doing a little blocking for us, huh? I'm going to miss you.
I'll drop by the house and pick you two up later. Where's your car?
We're just around the side here.
Well, I'll go around there with you.
A little more wine.
Oh, no, Dad, no.
Now, this is not going to hurt you at all.
Hey, check it easy there, Pop. We don't want to leave with our mother under the table.
Yeah, she ought to stay sober.
Now we've drunk to everything else. Let's have a toast to John in absentia.
John will show up, Pop. Don't get worried.
There.
Sure. He's probably down at the station now.
Yes? It's Western Union. All right, I'll take it down. Oh.
You're not coming.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
10 cents a word.
Uh-huh.
Not him. He uses $2
No,
words.
I got it all right. Thank you. I can't come at all.
Oh, that's tough.
Due to sudden official business, am indeterminately detained here. Try to make it next week. Good luck to Chuck and Ben, and love to Mother and Dad.
Yeah, I like to see that love to Dad.
He really said it, Dan. Well, he said love meant for everybody. Well, that's that.
Well, anyway, you fellas could make it.
Would have been so nice if we'd all been together on their last. But,
But it's the Padre.
Yes, there's a station wagon.
oh, hello, Father. Is it that time?
Well, if I'm going to drive the boys all the way to Asheville, how are you, boys? I think we better get getting started. This is the first time you haven't been glad to see me. But I understand. I understand.
Well, right. You too?
Sure. Sure, Mom. We'll send you an opium pipe.
So long, sweater girl.
You all right?
I'm fine. Bum, 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 bum. Ouch. Oh. Oh, Dr. Carver.
Hello, Lucille. Did you say come on in?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just going to.
Hi, Doc.
Hello, Dan.
Come on in. Well, who's sick?
Maybe he is.
Oh, I wanted to tell you how sorry I am that I missed Ben and Chuck last week. But half the county's having a baby binge.
Well, there's nobody sick here.
Well, there's nobody going to be. Sit down and pay attention.
Well, what on
Now,
earth?
no back talk. With boys all fighting a war, a woman at your time of life is going to be under a bigger strain than she is already. Now, these are good. Proving it. I want you to take 3 every day. Go and take one right now. And when they're gone, call me up. I'll be seeing you.
Now, you listen here.
You listen to him.
You have dizzy spells, don't you?
Listen to the doctor, will you?
Look at him. Look, Doctor, if anything is happening to me, wouldn't you say that it's just about what's been happening ever since wars and women began?
All I know is that women your age sometimes bust up with far less reason.
Well, I'm not going to bust a bustle.
I'm not mentioning any names, but I have 2 wrapped up in the rest home right now.
I bet I can guess who one of them is. Is it...
Never
is
mind,
it-
never mind.
Well, don't you let her get away with that. I went to school with her.
You know, Lucille, I admire your attitude, and I agree with you. What God intended...
She used to go to school on Saturdays.
Now, Lou, will you do what the doctor says? Go take one of these right now.
All right, all right.
Good.
The frail little woman will do his bidding. Happy?
Doc, what you really
Oh, now, Dan.
if anything ever happened to her.
Don't worry.
You are. Finally.
Hello, Mother.
Oh, it's been almost a year now. Let me look at you.
Oh, I feel fine, Mother. Now, wait a minute. This is supposed to be a happy occasion.
Oh, here's your father.
Well, well, John. Welcome home.
Thank you, Father.
Taller than a lamppost.
Well, you haven't changed much that I can see, Father.
Feel about the same.
John looks a little tired, though, don't you think?
No. Looks good to me.
So good you could make it, John.
Too bad you couldn't make it last Sunday because we had
Oh,
the
now
kids
that's
home.
all right. That's all right. He sent a wire. He said goodbye to the boys. Dr. Carver's in here.
Oh. Hello, Dr. Carver. What gives with you around here?
Oh, friendly call. No charge. Good to see you again, John.
Looks like a young Uncle Sam himself, doesn't he, Doc? How are things down in Washington, son? Everybody's beginning to see things as they are, aren't they?
Well, some of us, Father, are not so much interested in seeing things as they are as we are in seeing things the way we like them to be.
Well, just as long as you like them to be for the old red, white, and blue, it's all right with me.
Well, Dr. Carver, nobody can ever say that we weren't brought up on those good old American bromides.
Well, the bromides can come in pretty handy sometimes, can't they, Doc?
Yes, even when our thinking gets shaky, there's nothing better than good old bromides.
Oh, wait a minute. Might as well keep it on. I'm going to get mine now.
Where are we going?
Mass, 11.
Oh.
Well, unless you'd rather go at 12.
No, 11 is fine.
What church you going to in Washington?
St. Patrick's.
Well, I'm all in a cloud of bedsides. Good luck, son. Now keep us going down there.
Doctor, you know, in my catechism and cookie days around here, I'm afraid I took you rather for granted.
Oh.
But I think you'll be interested to know that I've learned to take my hat off to science and to research.
Uh-huh. Well, we fellas, that is fellas smarter than I am, uncover a lot of things that are new and different and progress-making. But more and more, some of us are beginning to realize that someone put them there for us to discover.
Someone put them there.
Yes,
for
I
us
know,
to
fella.
just-
Somebody hides things around for us to find. Kind of like an old-fashioned egg hunt, huh?
To discover something is great, but the wonder of creation...
You know, Doc, I follow you. I see what you mean. Columbus discovered America, but he didn't put it here. Of course, Columbus is a great hero to us, but I'll bet you that the Indians weren't impressed with him. Well, how could they be? Because they were here before he was. Did you ever think about that?
No,
John?
Father, no, but I will.
Well, I'll see you all in the bomb shelter. So long.
So long, Doc.
I'm all ready, Dan.
Well, you'd better be.
Been having a little trouble with your father lately. You ought to hear him yak when I'm late.
Is that so, Mother? Here's your hat, Father. Still active, Father?
Boy, you're darn right we are. I haven't missed a meeting, have I, Mother?
No, he hasn't, John.
Our attendance has doubled recently, and we're alert. We have to be. We've been holding some special meetings, son, and every now and then we send out for...
More beer.
No, John, we send out for a speaker. Someone whom we feel knows more than we do about what goes on in the world today. We ask a lot of questions, and we're getting awful smart, awful
Were you
quick.
going to say something, Mother?
Oh, I was going to say, that if your father's singing at 11, we...
Father's singing?
Yeah.
Will we be able to get a seat? There might be a line.
Wait a minute, for Father O'Dowd.
Oh, good morning. Pardon me, Mrs. McCarey. Hello, John. Father, it's good to see you.
I've been following your career. You've come a long way since you left St. Joseph's.
Oh, thank you, Father. Good work, John. Good work.
And speaking of good work, your mother and her lady Fidelity have been more than generous to me. Only last week they gave me a brand new stove.
You should have seen the old one. We had to pay the junk man to throw it in the ravine.
Your mother and the Fidelity, they're always doing things like that for me.
That's a nice life you have, Father.
What's that, John?
We take care of you in this world, and you promise to take care of us in the next, huh?
Washington hasn't changed his sense of humor, has it, Father?
What do you hear from the other boys?
Well, nothing as yet.
Why don't you, pull the car around in front?
Sure. All right.
We enjoyed your sermon very much, Father. Didn't we, John?
Oh, yes, Father, we did. How you took a little story of a mustard seed and developed it for 20 minutes. It was wonderful. Shall we go, Mother? Goodbye, Father. Nice to see you.
Going to be able to spend much time with us, dear?
Oh, I intend to, Mother. Would you mind letting me off at Teachers College, Father? I won't be long, Mother.
Been expecting that. Can't wait to see old Professor Toozes, can you? Can't ever remember his name.
I just want to pay my respects and get his advice on a talk I'm giving to the graduating class at my old alma mater.
Why, John, what an honor. Could we be there? We'd be so proud, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's an awfully long trip, Mother, and time is so short. I'll send you the speech, and you and Father can read it.
That'll be nice.
Take a left at the next corner, Father.
Do you know that you can fly 500 miles in 2 hours? We could fly in here, John. How about surprising him, Dan?
Fly? You and I?
Everybody flies nowadays. We ought to keep up with the times.
Dr. Carver said I should be nice to you, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't cost too much, would it?
Oh, I should say no. I hear some Irishman advertising on the radio every day. You can fly any place in the United States, diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. And travel by air is much cheaper, too. Phone Wasatch, too. Raloo, raloo.
I'll do it for you. But he didn't invite us. We're lowbrow. He'll probably invite his highbrow professor. Or he can have his highbrow professors. Because if he prefers the... What's the matter with you?
I might ask you the same thing. You hit me. What's the matter? Your brakes bad?
I just had him fixed. You stop.
I didn't stop. I just slowed down. I had to see what street this was.
Well, you must be a stranger around
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
I
I'm a
don't care
stranger.
where you're from. They don't drive like that.
Well, we don't have to get in a big hassle about it. You just bent my fender a little bit there.
Well, here's my driver's license. Right there, and here's my insurance
we
card.
don't need to go into all
Oh,
that.
yes, we do. You drive like an idiot. Well, I guess she's right. That's my little wife.
How do you do? Well, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Oh, well, just forget all about it, huh?
Mother, you shouldn't have waited out.
Wanted to.
But I asked Dad specifically to tell you to...
He waited up, too.
Oh. Well, it's kind of like old times. Waiting up for me to come home, isn't it?
I had a little work to do anyway. Come on in, son. There's your old chair. Sit down. Take the load off your feet.
Yes. Remember how you used to sit there reading all night long, and I'd come down in the morning and find you sound asleep? We still have some of your old books.
No, Mother. I'm terribly sorry about dinner. but when the professor and I get together, you know, I haven't seen him in a year.
You haven't seen us either.
He means by that, we've just been dying to talk to you, too. Why don't you talk to your father for a little while? I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, you're wonderful, Mother.
Too bad that you weren't here last Sunday to see Ben Chuck off. Those two were a riot.
Yes, Mother wrote me all about it, Father.
Oh, she did, huh? What did she tell you about Chuck?
Mm-hmm. 8 pages, both sides.
What's the matter with you, son?
Hmm?
I mean, you seem nervous about something.
No,
is
Father.
something bothering you?
Feel fine.
Well, looks...
Maybe a little tired.
Well, why don't you go on up to bed now and go to sleep? We can talk anytime.
Oh, let's talk. I'm looking forward to talking to you, Father. Talk. Talk.
Well, you know me, John. All I know is what I read in the papers.
In the local papers, huh?
Well, no, our local paper's not so bad. Our editor pulls off many a witticism.
I'm sure, Father. You just thought of one?
Yeah. Yes, he had a good one in there yesterday about a thief who breaks into a communist propaganda office and he steals the results of next year's election. You know, every day he puts one of those in a little box.
In a little box.
Did I miss out on something?
Oh, Mother. Father still has his sense of humor. You still teaching at the Little Red Schoolhouse, Father?
Oh, yes, still teaching them the same down-to-earth
fundamentals.
That's right.
Dan's been working on his speech for the Legion. He's running for commander of the post. Maybe he could help you with it, huh?
Who?
John.
Well, I'd love to, Father.
You know, add some little colorful touches. Put some bows on it.
Why do I want some bows on it
Oh,
for?
Father, she doesn't mean that. I think Mother means that maybe you'd like to take advantage of your investment in me. What's your thesis, Father? What's your subject?
My subject is, where are we headed?
Well, where are we headed, Father?
That's what I'd like to know, son.
Well, how can you tell them what you'd like to know?
I've got it.
You've got what?
What do you mean?
That's what I'd like to know is what you mean, Father. Where are we headed?
I know where we're headed.
Oh, good. So far, you haven't said anything yet that's going to get you any votes.
Well, don't worry. I've got it. It's all here. It's packed with dynamite.
I'm sure it's loud.
Well, it might be loud, yes. You ought to come over. It'd do you good. Here's some of the singing that we do at the finish, because we've got one particular song that I'd love to walk into a commie meeting, 300 strong, and give it to 'em full blast. If you don't like your Uncle Sammy, then go back to your home o'er the sea, to the land from whence you came, no matter what its name. But don't be ungrateful to me if you don't like the stars in Old Glory. If you don't like the red, white, and blue, then don't act like the cur in the story. Don't bite the hand that's feeding you.
Oh, Father. Rousing words. Great, Father. I'll read your speech. Oh, gosh, I've got to learn this. We've got to do it together. If you don't like your Uncle Sammy, then go back to the land or the sea. I didn't get your name. Go back from where you came, and don't be ungrateful to me. Mother.
I thought you might like a snack.
Oh, you needn't have done that.
Thought you might get hungry. Stranger. You still eat, don't you? You working on Father's speech?
Mm-hmm. Making a few suggestions.
Good. I want to talk to you. Tell me all about yourself. Tell me about everything. Can't we talk just a little bit? Like old times?
Of course, Mother. Why not?
I don't know. But somehow I just have a feeling that we're not as close this time as we always were. What's happened to my boy?
Well, he's grown up, Mother. Boys do grow up, you know. You're aware of the silver cord, Mother? It must be severed, you know.
Yes, I was there at the time. Oh, John. Let you and me talk sense. Silver cord fiddle-de-dee. I don't want to intrude, but we don't have to be strangers either, do we?
Oh, no, Mother.
All right, then. Have you got a girl?
Well, sentimentalizing over the biological urge isn't really a guarantee of human happiness, dear.
Oh. Now you've got me as mixed up as you had your father. Oh, and speaking of, you were rude to your father tonight, John.
No, I think you're wrong.
Oh, no, I know your face, John. I've looked into it too many years not to know it. I know every line, every curve of that mouth. Been stealing any pennies lately?
You're not going back that far, are you?
You haven't forgotten.
Oh, no.
Oh, how everybody thought you were so sick when you didn't go to school. I knew what was bothering you. I brought you right into this room, didn't I? Right here?
Yes.
And I said, it's all right, John. I was saving them for you anyway. And then those eyes filled with tears. And all of a sudden, you weren't sick anymore.
You've got to begin to accept the fact that I'm no longer a baby. You've got to get used to the idea.
You were the gurglingest baby.
Well, there you go again.
I used to put you on my knee and bounce you up and down, up and down. Teedle-deedle-dumplin', my son John went to bed with his stockings on. One shoe off and one shoe on. Teedle-deedle-dumplin', my son John. And you'd say, do it again, Mommy, do it again, Mommy. Teedle-deedle-dumplin', my son John went to bed. I get tired of this knee and I put you on this knee. Teedle-deedle-dumplin', my son John went to bed with a stocking. You used to wear me out.
Do it again, Mother.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Oh, I well, that's the same look that you had when you were talking to your father.
Oh,
no.
Mother.
Oh, I don't understand. No, John.
There's
Not
no more
with me.
sincere, Mother.
It's me. You remember me? Oh. When it gets to the stage where you're making fun of a mother's love.
Oh, no, Mother.
I guess I'm just like all the other mothers. I can't take it. Making fun of my lullaby. Spoiling my memories.
Oh, but I didn't mean it,
Oh,
Mother.
yes, you...
With all my heart, I
Well,
did.
then don't act like the cur in the story.
Oh, Mother.
Don't bite the hand that's feeding you. You're laughing. I made you... Well, you can still do that, can't you? Well, if it takes my tears to make you laugh, that's all right. I don't care. Well, if it isn't the nice young man with the bent fender.
That's right.
Did you come to laugh about it?
Well, no,
I was playing cowboy and Indians with a neighbor's child trying to do my work at the same time. What do you want?
well, it's about that, the bent fender, you know. It came to a little more than I expected. It was $18.
Don't choke over it.
No, I'm not. And 70-odd cents.
I
you
see.
know.
That's why you're here.
Well, You know, after all, $18 is $18.
Oh, I know. With
You know,
taxes the way they are
well,
and
yes,
everything.
you have to
of course.
make a lot more than...
Well. Your attitude's a little different from what it was yesterday.
Well, yesterday I didn't
Well,
get...
yesterday you just said, forget all about it.
Well,
Well, came a time when my husband wasn't here. What makes you presume that it was our fault?
Well, I think that's a rather natural presumption.
Oh, yes. Sunday Christian, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm just driving along minding my business when, boom, it's a crash, and I look back and then at you. Now, whose fault do you think that was?
Why didn't you look where you were going?
Look, you hit me from behind. After all, I haven't got eyes in my rear.
No?
Well, I can't see what's back of me.
I thought that's what you meant. You meet some peculiar people nowadays. A lot of pettiness in the world, don't you think so?
Lady, there's nothing petty about $18.
It was the 70-odd cents that made me... Who could that be? I don't think we hit anybody else yesterday.
Hope you didn't have any trouble at the front door.
No. No, that was a present from my two sons. They're in the service. Yes, they were here last week. We had a sort of a farewell dinner.
Well,
Oh, but pardon me. You want to fight the battle of 1870, what is it?
It does seem a little silly to squabble about a repair bill when boys like yours are...
Oh, you got another side.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like to squabble over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Come in. Bring your bill.
I got it.
That's what my boys sent me.
It's beautiful.
I'm just dying to try it on.
Why don't you?
I think I will.
That's nice. Madam Butterfly.
Darn.
What's the matter? You're about as sad as poor Butterfly.
It's only that this was sent from San Francisco. That's a harbor, isn't it? That's where ships sail from?
Yeah.
Well, that was a welcome interruption. Yes?
Cleaner.
Yes, it is.
Where's Miss Jefferson?
Oh, she's
All right, I'll hold on.
On the phone. I'll take it.
Yes? No, he isn't here now. Who is calling, please? Wouldn't you think people would leave their names? These are my two boys. The ones that,
Yeah.
sent-
Look like a great pair of halfbacks.
Yes, this one used to pass to that one.
Mm.
Yes, he'd fade way back.
Oh, yeah, give him a chance to get down the field.
Uh-huh. And then, boom, touchdown.
You have two fine boys, all right.
Oh, we have another son, John. He's the bright one in the family. He has more degrees than a thermometer. I said there was only one bright one in the family. He is brilliant, though, really. He's going to give the commencement address at his university.
Oh, that John Jefferson. Well, he is...
He's just famous, that's all. He doesn't know it, but his father and I are going to be there to hear him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I may be there myself. That's my alma mater, too.
Oh?
Mm. Well, he doesn't live here with you now, then?
No, he's just visiting.
Ah.
He's in Washington. That phone call, that was for him.
Oh.
That was long distance from Washington. He has a great career ahead of him.
Well, it seems like you have 3 fine sons, Mrs. Jefferson.
God was good to me.
I don't know. I think he's pretty good to those boys, too. You're a wonderful mother.
Is your mother still living?
Yeah, I have a wonderful mother, too.
Nothing petty about her. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You never would have got it anyway.
Mother?
Yes, John.
Hi.
Oh, you said you'd be home early. Have a good day?
Fine.
Well, my day was...
A little lonely? Oh, I'm sorry, Mother. I promise that I'll see more of you.
You do, John. You had a long-distance phone call from Washington, D.C.
Oh. Who was it?
They didn't leave any name.
What did he leave any message?
It was a girl, John. You've got a girl, John?
Oh, no. Mother, it was probably just a routine call from the office.
No, it was a payphone. I heard her drop a lot of money in.
No message?
No. She said she'd call back later.
Where's Father?
He's, going over your notes.
Oh, well, I hope I was of some help on his speech.
Well, he didn't say. Probably...
John,
Father?
how's your supper coming?
Oh, fine.
Oh, I'm sorry that I missed you this morning, Father.
Well, as much my fault as yours, son. I ate in haste. I had to leave.
Well, did you find my notes useful?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, John. Frankly...
I hope you got my points, Father, because I didn't want you to be saying things that you didn't mean. Now, you know, I realize as well as you that the Legion is a great force for good, and caution must be shown to avoid the danger of a misuse of their power.
Well, don't you think fighting men can think? Or do you think they just bleed well?
Oh, Father.
Well, then, what happened to my first line? We legionnaires must fight to keep the power in the people. And if we let the state give us freedom, it also has the power to take it away. You didn't find any substitute for that. You just marked that out with a blue pencil.
Put your line back.
Darn right I will.
Put the whole speech back. It's all right with me.
That's what I intend to do. I said, when the state denies God-given rights and regards itself as a source of liberty, freedom is doomed.
That isn't even your idea, is it?
No, I copied it. What difference does that make?
Copying it doesn't make it right.
I copied it right. Just wait there. John?
Oh, Father, let's not go into it anymore.
Now, I've got another subject for you. As your father, you and I are going to have a talk. A good talk, away from your mother. And it's about you, son.
Well, if you'd enjoy it, Father.
Well, I don't know whether you will. Because, as I told you, we're alert, and we are alert.
You just said that.
Yes. But you sound to me like one of those guys that we should be alert about.
One of those guys?
Well, I just said that you sounded like one. I didn't say that you... Because if I thought that you really were, you know, I'd take you out in the backyard and I'd give it to you both barrels.
No trial, huh?
Now, you're off on the wrong slant. And you know what I'm talking about. Because as your father, I want to know where you're headed.
Well, I can help you there. I'm headed for the bathroom. Wash my hands and clean up for dinner.
Well, I'll go with you.
Yes? Yes, it is. Yes, he's here now. He's... Just a moment.
Thanks, Mother. Hello? Yes.
Lou, I'm sorry, but I'm going on down to the Legion now.
Well, what about supper?
Oh, well, I'll eat something when I get home.
Oh, but you must have a bite.
Well, I'm not hungry.
Oh, I'll hurry it up. Now, look, the meeting isn't until 8 o'clock. You have 2 whole hours.
Well, it'll take me 2 hours to get my speech back the way it was. All right, see you later, son.
Good luck, Dan.
Thanks, I can use it.
I can hear you now. Yes. Yes. I heard you. I heard... Yes. Goodbye. Oh, I know how you feel, Mother.
Do you?
I don't understand Father's attitude toward me.
That's because you're not a father.
With a son like me?
You look worried, John. What was it, that phone call that did it?
Well, it was important, yes, Mother, but... Well, don't, let's not go into how I look again.
All right. I made a cocktail in case anybody was in the mood.
Good, let's keep it bright.
I made enough for 3, but...
You know, I don't like to get back to Father again, Mother, but...
Well, if you didn't, I would. He's so troubled, John. You know, when we left you off at the university...
Yes?
Well, he was so mad that you'd rather talk to highbrow professors that he smashed right into another car.
Oh, he did? Was it Father's fault?
Well, he claimed that the other fella stopped too fast.
Well, what did you think?
It doesn't matter. Man came by here today with his bill, but I talked him out of it. He finally tore it up.
We finally tore it up. Well, did you have to do a lot of talking?
Oh, I certainly did. He was downright ornery at first, but I turned him into a nice fellow. You know, warmed him up with some coffee.
Well, you two had quite a chat.
Yes, we had quite a chat. I told him about Ben and Chuck. What great athletes.
About this fellow, did he...
I was talking about your brothers. You keep wanting to talk about this fella. What's the matter, John? Does it bother you that I talk too much to strangers?
Oh, no. It's just that, well, it does seem odd that a fellow would come all of this way merely to tear up his bill.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is a little bit odd.
Well, that's what I meant.
Maybe. Now, I'm bothered. I told him about you. He seemed very interested. You know me, John, when I get started about you.
Oh, yes, Mother. Did you start when I was a boy with a penny jar?
No. I did quite a lot of talking, though. Here it is, John.
Hmm?
Remember?
Yes.
Oh, my pills, I forgot.
What are they for, Mother?
Modern science has pills for women of my age, John. For people who forget where they put them. They're supposed to insure us against going goofy. Goof insurance.
Oh.
I told Dr. Carver that I'd just as soon put my faith in God and what he intended.
I'd go along with science, too, Mother, and take those little tablets.
What about Moses and the tablets he left us? With a prescription written right on them.
Oh, Mother, you don't need any pills.
No. I always got my strength from 2 books. Both very nourishing in their own way. The cookbook and the Bible. Remember how I used to trick you into learning this one with this one, I'd say to you, I'll make you cookies, pies, cakes, and jam if you'll learn Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We had a kind of a deal, remember?
Mm.
John, what is the matter with you?
Oh, Mother, I've got more important things on my mind than cakes and cookies.
Luke and John.
I've got to make a phone call, Mother. Lehigh 2411, please. I'm sorry, Mother. What time is your next plane for New York? Not until 12? I know, but I've got to get there right away. I mean, I've got to get there before 9 in the morning. Oh, boy. Yes.
I'm sorry to be popping in on you at this hour, but you heard my announcement about the clothing drive.
Oh, my bundle isn't ready yet, Father. Oh, I have a lot of things for you, especially now since Ben and Chuck are gone, but I'll have to go clear up in the attic to get them. Will tomorrow be all right?
Well, I suppose it'll have to be. I've been thinking about that joke that was told me Sunday. You know, the one about everybody helping me in this world and then trying to find me in the next. The joke has questionable merit. And if John thinks what I thought...
He's on the phone.
Oh, hello, John.
Father?
I'm doing a little work for the poor. John.
What?
I'm trying to help out a few people in this world, too.
Good night, Father.
Good night.
Well, I know, but I could, what if I got in a car and... Well, but how much further is that from your field? Yeah. All right. Yes. Right.
Come in.
Mother?
All packed?
Yes. I wish I could leave with you feeling better.
You could. I'm all right. I listened, John, when your father was saying some awful things to you.
Oh, well, that's terrible, Mother. No wonder you were so upset.
I still am.
Well, don't let Father poison your thinking. I'm sure that I can clear this up in your mind.
Do, John.
Father is muddled, Mother. He thinks in the past. The world at this point is in a turmoil, and muddled thinking, like Father's, certainly isn't going to help. Young thinkers are dreaming of the future, Mother. What's ahead of us?
Why not? Go ahead.
Our only hope is to learn to live with our fellow man. The globe is getting smaller, Mother. We're living closer to each other. We must tear down our spite fences and learn to live with our neighbors.
That's good, John. Tear down our spite fences. Love thy neighbor. Go on, I go along with you so far.
Good. Now, Father thinks...
What do you think?
I love humanity, Mother. I love the downtrodden, the helpless minorities.
Good, John. That's what I tried to teach you. You know by heart that we must labor to help the weak. Like St. Paul said, no one can tell me that an early religious training doesn't show itself.
Good. I know everything that you stand for, Mother. And what I'm striving for is an intelligent and practical way to bring into existence a new and better ordered world.
We did understand each other, didn't we?
Yes.
Remember how I pleaded for your education? And how they teased me that you were my favorite. You're part of me. And it's always been my prayer that whatever's good in me would be a part of you. I had dreams myself, John, of great things to be done. But a wife and mother doesn't have much time for more than put off till tomorrow. I hoped, John, that you'd see that someday my tomorrows would come through. Some of them.
We talk the same language. And we think the same way.
Of course we do.
But now, try to understand me. Everything that we agree on, you and I warn you, this is liberal thinking.
So what?
If we think this way, we're leftists, communists, subversive.
That's ridiculous.
Well, of course it is, but that's the way Father thinks.
Oh, he doesn't mean that.
Oh, I know, Mother. Father's wonderful. And I'd do anything to convince him that he's so wrong about me.
Well, just tell him what you told me, John.
Oh,
That's
Mother,
all
I
you-
couldn't get that through his head.
Oh.
I want to prove once and for all how ridiculous his suspicions are. I'd go to any lengths, Mother, for your sake. I'd swear on a stack of Bibles.
You would?
Well, it's just an expression.
But so expressive. That'll do it. Oh, I'm beginning to feel better already. You know how religious your father is. What'll we tell him? Go ahead.
Oh, Mother.
Go ahead. How does it go?
Oh, Mother. I swear that I am not now or ever have been a member of the Communist Party. Feel better?
I can't wait for your father to come home. I'm a little relieved myself. You can't blame me now.
Well, you really were worried, Mother.
Well, it alarmed me, you know. You kept talking about this fellow with a silly bill.
Well-
I thought it had something to do with you.
Well, what has this fellow got to do with me?
I don't know.
I mean, you mean this? You mean my telephone conversation, my having to leave suddenly, has got
Yes,
something to do with this
yes,
man and the... Oh,
yes.
Mother, I'm ashamed of you.
I'm ashamed.
Well, you see, that just shows you what one remark like Father's can do.
Oh, I'd hate to tell you what I was thinking.
Your brain was racing, huh?
Was it? Well, now, you get out of here. I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to get you something to eat.
Oh, Mother, no,
Well, I
I'm
want
not,
you to eat
not
something.
hungry.
Yes,
Anyway,
you
I
must,
should be
darling.
calling
You
my
haven't had any
cab, you
dinner. You
know?
want something to...
Oh.
Well, meeting broke up early?
No, I left early. What are you up to?
Well, I was just calling a cab, Father. I have to leave suddenly.
Oh, is that so? Wasn't much of a visit, was it? Did what I have to say in there cause you to...
Oh, no, Father. How was your speech?
Well, you know that crowd. They're not too bright. They applauded me. Where's your mother?
She'll be down in a minute.
You and I have time to finish our talk?
Well, it'll have to be brief, Father, because my cab is on the way.
It can be. Did you remember where you were? I know where I was. It's your turn to talk, so think over what you're going to say, and I'll see how your mother is. Well, John, This is the Bible that your mother taught. Forgive me, son, if I look a little fuddled, but...
Oh, that's all right, Father.
Well, your mother just told me about you, about the talk that you'd had together. She told me that she'd heard us.
I heard you, Father.
Well, anyway, she believes in you. You've made her very happy, son, and I'm glad because I've tried to make things pleasant for her. Dr. Carver, he told me that
Father, try a little harder, will you? Because you brought this on by leaping to the accusation.
No, I
that
never accused
Oh,
you.
yes, you
no,
did, Father.
no,
You
no.
said-
I just said that you talked like a scummy.
Uh-huh, and Mother heard it, so now
Well,
she's
I never
upset.
dreamed that she
Well,
was-
anyway, I hope that this settles the whole thing. I mean, I can't do any more than swear on Mother's Bible. So I hope that we can now forget everything that's happened, huh?
I hope so, yes. But if you were,
Yes, Father, go ahead. What?
well, if you were, then the Bible wouldn't mean a thing, would it, huh? A whole stack of Bibles.
Well, there you go again.
I know.
Father, open your mind and let this in, will you? The church, they'd believe me.
Uh-huh.
The courts, they'd believe me. Mother believes me. But you don't.
Not yet. Do you believe in the Bible?
Well, now, Father, do you believe every page? Huh? I mean, Jonah and the whale.
I believe every page, son. Jonah and the whale and
even
all
the pages you don't understand.
I believe in those two. That's faith.
That certainly is, Father. You mean you believe in heaven and hell's fire?
I sure as there's a hell do. Listen, son. Take the first commandment. Do you believe in the Lord thy God? What about honoring your father and mother? That's the fourth commandment.
Well, you're making that one difficult.
What you're doing to that one.
Oh, Father. What page was that on?
I don't know what page it's on. You made me do it.
What have you done, Dan? What have you done? You hit your son.
Well, he was just trying to pound some religion into me.
He tripped over the table.
Will you get out of here? Dan, will you get... Come on, come on, come on.
What? Oh, please don't.
Get on down to the Legion.
Now, don't
Put
get
your coat
yourself,
on.
Lou, all excited. Will you
Put
not
it on.
Yes, Mother. I'll put my coat on, but I wish you wouldn't get yourself
And your
all
hat now.
perturbed.
Go on. Put the hat on. Maybe they've got
Got it
some
on.
more beer left.
There is. A whole barrel of it. So you're against me, too. Guess I'm just too dumb to get it.
No, you're not dumb, Dan. You just aren't very bright. Hitting your own son.
No, I didn't hit him. I just merely pushed him.
Get out of here,
Because
will
he's
you?
clumsy.
Well, I'll have to go and change,
I
Mother.
know
I
you
can't go.
I know. Wait a minute. Just let me sterilize it for him.
Oh, Mother, you don't have to.
Well, I can put a band-aid on it or something. Oh, that's an ugly thing.
Well, I told you that this would happen.
I know you did. I know.
Just can't talk to him. Well, there's my cab, Mother. Here,
What?
I'll do it. Well, I've got to change my pants anyway, and
Well,
I've got to catch that plane before midnight. Call a cab? Yes, be there in a minute. I'll get it, Mother. Hello? Ben! Well, how are you? Where are you? Oh, Chuck with you? Well, I just came down to pay a visit to Mother and Dad. Chuck? How are you?
Hiya, boy. You keep up the fight in the home front, won't you, John?
Yes, yeah, I'll be in there punching. Well, good luck to both of you, and I'll put somebody on so you can get your money's worth.
Hello, Chuck. You in San Francisco? I got the kimono. It's wonderful. I was a little disappointed, though. No opium pipe.
She got the kimono.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Ben. Chuck says you may be leaving soon. I hope you're on a slow boat. Goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, Mom.
Bye-bye.
They're leaving, John. I won't hear those voices again for a long time.
Well, Mother, maybe we'll have a lasting peace one day soon.
Oh, you fight for that, John, in your way. And say a prayer for Ben and Chuck. I'm going to light 2 candles for them. I'll light one for you, too.
Good.
Now, don't forget you're my tomorrows, John. What's the matter, dear?
Bye.
Oh, your knee. I forgot.
It's all right.
I was so many things on them. What are you going to do about the trousers?
Oh, they're ruined. Throw them away. Give them to Father O'Dowd.
And you drive careful. carefully now, or I'll sue you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'll fix that.
You look like you finished the barrel.
People who aren't so bright can hold a lot.
Dan, I blew up. I'm sorry I threw you out of the house.
That is a commie's specialty.
What?
Breaking up homes. I may not be bright, but I know that.
I'll have to talk to you in the morning. John stands for everything I do. It may take me a little time, but he loves humanity, Dan.
He may love humanity, but he's not for his old man. I'm a human being. I'm human.
Oh, no crying, Jag, now. You can't stand anybody that looks into the future. You can't even stand.
I'm all right.
John explained it all so clearly, Dan. You're suspicious of anybody that has liberal views. St. Paul was a liberal
Leave
thinker.
St. Paul out.
You leave the lamp alone.
Let's just stick to John's kind of liberalism. They just caught one of his kind down in Washington.
But you don't mean for a minute to infer...
She knows a lot of people that talk just like our son John.
That's the beer talking.
No, it isn't. I switched to bourbon.
You're in fine shape to teach little children in the morning.
I'm not teaching little children in the morning. I'm not teaching little children anymore. I quit. What's the use of teaching honesty, goodness, love of home and country? Nobody gives a hang. Oh, some mothers are very interested in report cards. Good grades, not character, high marks. Fathers, they just don't care. I take that back. One father did come to school. He wanted me fired. He heard that I had mentioned God in the classroom. His little son of a father like that snitched on me. I must teach his little stool pigeon reading, writing, and arithmetic. Just suppose that he gets excellent in the 3 R's, and he gets a goose egg for character. Reading? Excellent. But if he reads nothing about his faith, whatever it may be, his head will be as empty as John thinks mine is. Take writing. There's a lot of good writing on bad checks. Forgers have excellent penmanship. Am I boring you?
Go to bed, you big lummox. Tell me in the morning why you hit your son.
I'll tell you now. Go to bed. I saw red when he said that I made it difficult for him to honor his father and his mother. It's wrong. He honors his mother. So do I. I honor you, Lou. What do you make fun of? Oh. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But he makes fun of his father. You saw how he acted when I sang my song. If you don't like your Uncle Sammy, then go back ta 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 ta.
Now who's breaking up our home?
If I broke anything, I'll fix it. I just wanted to show you how silly your son behaves.
Where does he get his awkwardness?
You know, I've been thinking. I'm not going to quit. I'm going back to school in the morning and keep on teaching little children.
Hello. Yes? Yes? Hello, John. How thoughtful of you to brighten up my day. It's too bad your father isn't here so you could talk to him. Well, John, I know how busy you are, and this is expensive. But believe me, it was worth it, dear. And I hope that your day is as bright as you've made mine. Goodbye. What? Oh. Your trousers? Those old things? Well, I gave them to Father O'Dowd like he told me to. Why? Did you leave anything in them? John, you seem upset. Is that why you called? All right. All right, I'll get them. I will. I'll get them this evening. Right away. All right. Your father has the car, but I'll walk over. All right. Well, it was good to get to talk to you, John. Goodbye. What is the reason for this visit, Mr. You didn't tell me your name before. Suppose you start right out by doing that this time.
It's Stedman, Mrs. Jefferson.
Federal Bureau of... No, I won't take your hat. I have a feeling that you're not going to stay long.
Do you mind if I sit down?
I don't care.
I'm aware this is a shock to you, and I don't want to frighten you.
I'm not at all frightened, Mr. Stedman.
I seem to startle you.
Naturally, when you showed me who you are.
No, no, even before that, I thought that you looked more shocked when you saw me than when you found out who I am.
Well, suppose you say why you're here, and I'll try to have the right expression.
It's about John.
What's he done? What do you think he's done?
I'm not sure that he's done anything.
Well, you won't be any more sure by talking to me. I don't see why I should tell you anything. Anyway.
No, well, you're within your rights to refuse.
Were you within your rights when you wormed your way? That's right, you wormed your way into my confidence, so I do a lot of talking.
I know that our methods are very often criticized by certain sources because we're after them day and night. But nobody objects to a firm that protects its business by investigating your credit. Insurance outfits have to protect themselves by thorough investigations.
Well, I've always had great respect for you people, up to now.
Do you care to answer any questions? Or not?
Like, for instance?
I'd like to know why John left suddenly.
Well, I know why. He had a perfectly good reason for leaving, suddenly. But I see no reason why I should tell you. I know this, though. I'm leaving suddenly. I have a lot of things to do. I haven't done my shopping yet. I've got a lot of things I have to do. You can stay around, though. It's all right. Look the house over. All you'll find, my beds aren't made. I haven't done my housework yet, thanks to you. Oh, there you are, Father.
Oh, hello there.
Oh.
Did you come over to help us? I want you to see this. Now, there's something that anybody could use. Mrs. Mooney gave me that. Oh, the woman has a heart of gold.
Father, I want something back.
You Indian giver.
Well, you know those trousers I gave you? They're John's, and he wants them back.
Then he's the Indian giver. Perhaps he left something in them.
No, I asked him that, and he said no. They seem worthless to me.
Well, we'll find them if they're here.
Here's some of my stuff.
Would you have any idea what color they were?
Yes, they were gray.
Gray.
Flannel.
Flannel.
They had a little stripe in them,
Gray flannel with a little stripe in them. Well, now, there's gray flannel with a little stripe in them.
Oh.
But that's a coat. Is there any other kind of a hint that you could give me, or a
Yes,
clue?
there is. Here they are.
Well, they're not much, are they? Well, to me, those trousers are a complete ruin.
That's what I tried to tell him.
How in the world did he ever do that?
He sort of tripped. He had a nasty fall.
Well, I don't care who his tailor is. He'll never fix that up so they look like they're Sunday best.
Well, they're good material, though, you know.
Oh, yes, they are good. But oh, he could fix it. He could. Of course, he'd have to sit back of a desk all the time. Tell you what you could do. You could cut them off right there. Make short pants of them. Oh, I noticed Sunday when I talked to John. He's changed considerable since he wore short pants. But I've always said he was the best altar boy I've ever had. He not only served the Mass, but he had sort of, a nuance. He looked good doing it. Like a Notre Dame quarterback. Now, on the other hand, you take Chuck and Ben. When they serve the Mass. Now, look at you. The minute I mention Chuck and Ben.
Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye.
excuse me just a moment. Harvey's. Just a moment. Telephone. Right, Julie. You get these shrimp? I know that you're going to like them. They're wonderful for cocktails and all your friends will enjoy them. Yeah. Don't hesitate to ship some home. I know you like them.
You got in them. Looks like it. Well, she'll either come to see me or go to that other place.
Yeah, well, there's a nice view of the city right through there. And here's the Capitol over here. And down through here, there's a little park that... Oh, you're tired, Mother. Why don't you sit down? Now, tell me, how did you get here?
I flew.
No. How did you get up enough nerve to get on a plane?
Oh, I haven't. You seem so anxious to have these in a hurry.
Oh, but you didn't have to...
Well,
Oh, Mother, you could have mailed them. I mean, I merely wanted
the trousers, yes. You're not particularly glad to see me, just glad to see the trousers, huh?
Oh, Mother, the trousers. I'm tickled to see you. I'm just surprised that you fly all the way down here. Well, things sort of work out for the best, don't they? Here I made such a fuss over these trousers, and I'm kind of glad I did. Got to see you. You know, when you told me that you had to walk all that way, it worried me, and I called you back to tell you to take a cab on me. But there wasn't any answer.
Oh. I was gone. But there was somebody there. No, I guess maybe he was gone, too.
Who?
That man you're not worried about. He came back. As long as you're not worried about him. His name is Stedman.
He came back. Well, then, you brought these trousers down to me just so you could talk about him, hmm? Now, I've been thinking about him. He could have been with the FBI. You know, on one of those routine loyalty checks. We shouldn't resent it. I mean, after all, it's their duty to investigate and protect us. And they're having to work overtime these days. You know, I mean, they have to. Oh, I see what you mean, Mother. My gosh. But it's amazing, you know, what our weavers can... Mother, what was that man's name again?
You mean Stedman, don't you? Can't I help you anymore? Don't deceive me, John. If there's anything wrong, if you just tell me, you know, then maybe I could help. What are you looking for? Is it a key?
Well, I thought maybe that there was a key in my trousers, Mother, and I thought maybe that you might have it. It's a key to my apartment. But, darling, it's of no importance.
John, darling, is it of no importance?
Mother, it's of no importance whatsoever. I mean, I lose it so many times. You know, I hate to keep asking the landlady for another. Do you have it?
Yes, I do. I have the key, John.
Well, that's why I called you back.
No. It was to take a cab.
Mm-hmm. But I also wanted to tell you about the key, too.
I feel faint. I'm sick.
Oh, Mother.
I hate to rush you, John, but without you, the committee's just sitting there.
Mother, now, I'm in the middle of a big conference right now, but I'll break that up and take the rest of the day off. Hmm?
No, it can't be. Thought that was you, and then I said to myself, now what in the world can she be doing in Washington? Oh, I still say, what are you doing in Washington?
Came down to see my son. Please don't ask a lot of things you know already.
May I ask if you're going back to see him again?
Yes, I am. He's just going to be busy for the next hour and a half.
And I could ask if... Oh, excuse me. Well, as long as you have some time on your hand, you certainly picked out a nice spot here. I guess you know that's Jeffersons Memorial over there. He called this liberty of ours a gift of God. The words are inscribed on the memorial. It's the Washington Monument. And, the Lincoln Memorial. No, you can't see that from here. That's just over there beyond those trees. And then, beyond that, across the river, is Arlington Cemetery. That's famous for those who gave their lives for us. Well, how are those two fighting halfbacks of yours? Have you heard from them?
They sailed.
Oh, we have to fight on the home front for those two. They're fighting for everything these dead held dear. The living should.
What are you trying to do? Fire up my patriotism?
I just want you to appreciate that everything I've done on this case, I've done to preserve the things that you and
What case?
This case, Mrs. Jefferson.
Do you think my boy's mixed up in this? Oh, if you thought for one moment. Oh, he couldn't possibly.
Did John ever get any phone calls when he was down at the house?
Yes, you were there.
We have this Miss Carlin down here in the district jail. I think it might be a good idea if you listen to her voice. You see, you have plenty of time. I have my car up here.
I warn you, it wasn't a very good connection. I remember that.
So I picked her up after she left you.
I felt sorry for her. Had to have her little joke. Couldn't say she was glad to meet me. Hoped she'd never see me again.
She wanted to make sure that you weren't going to follow her. She'll turn here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
She watched you go around the corner.
There's the mother's instinct for you. Still taking no chances of being followed.
Smitty picked her up here from his car.
Then Carlin's apartment's over here on the left, huh?
That's right. We had two hidden cameras outside Ruth's apartment up here.
Mm-hmm.
See, one was hung from the fire escape. We picked her up coming in the hall.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at her handshake. I don't blame her. Mine would, too. She knows now. She had all of her chips on this one son. real problem on our hands now.
I picked her up here later in the park, sitting on that bench. The beating she's taken.
I'm gonna have to ask her questions. She being a truthful woman, every answer is going to incriminate her son. It'll be quite a test. God and country, or her son, John.
She's headed for the airport now, and home.
So am I, on the next plane out.
Lou? Lucille? Hey, Lou. What's the matter? What have you been up to? What's happened?
I flew to Washington, Dad, to see John.
You flew to... Well, I thought we were going to fly together to see him. You beat me to it. You went to apologize for me, huh? Maybe you're just a little airsick, dear.
I am a little sick, Dad. I had to see John.
I'm sorry, Lou. About everything. I brought this all on by hitting my own son. Hitting him was just like hitting you, wasn't it, dear? How could a man be so dumb?
No, you're not, Dad.
I know, I'm just not very bright. You never said it truer.
You are the brightest, the dearest. You've got more wisdom than all of us. Because you listen to your heart. You're not blinded by it, but you think with it too. Clear and honest and clean.
Don't overdo it, Lou. See, when you talk like that, you're the one who's not thinking so straight.
It's not your fault, Dan.
Yes, it is, Lou. Lou, I've been suffering all day long. I'm going to tell John tomorrow how wrong I was. I'm speaking honestly from my heart. What's the matter, Lou?
Would you call Dr. Carver?
What is the matter, dear?
I feel... I don't know. I feel I want Dr. Carver, Dan.
Well, here, lie down. We'll cover you up. And we'll get Dr. Carver. Well, they have no phone, have they? No, I know. Lou, the doc is over at the Rebner's. Now, I'll go get him. It shouldn't take very long.
Mother.
I was expecting you, John. I see you avoided your father.
I came here to find out about you. Why did you leave the office?
We'll get around to that.
Oh, Mother, you had me worried sick.
Yes? Mm-hmm.
Did you tell Father about your little trip?
I didn't tell him all about it. If I had, it would kill him. Or he'd kill you. I've sent him for the doctor.
What would kill him, Mother? I mean, I don't follow. I don't understand.
If he knew that the FBI is after you, John.
Mother, I thought I explained to you all about the FBI.
Now, no more fancy lies, John. You'll spend your tomorrows in a federal prison unless you can explain the key to that Carlin girl's apartment.
Well, now, what makes you think that I...
Because it fits. It opens the door.
You mean you went to her apartment?
I went there and I opened the door with your key.
Mother, are you out of your mind?
Not yet. You lied to me so much, John, that I had to know the truth. Do I know it now? Are you guilty, John?
Mother, I'm guilty to this extent. Now, wait just a minute. You see, darling, Ruth Carlin and I were intimate. Quite intimate. And naturally, I hesitated telling you.
Only one sin in the Constitution, and that's treason. I don't know what's happened to my morals for the moment, but is that all? Is that all you've
That's
done?
all, Mother.
That's bad. But it's good.
That's right. But who would believe it, Mother,
Well, Mr.
besides you and me?
Mr. Stedman would believe it. He'd understand. We could get him on the phone.
Well, no, Mother, that isn't necessary, dear.
We must explain it.
But, darling, this is a secret. Just between us.
But we have to tell Mr. Stedman, John. He won't let it go any further. Oh, I'd be so happy to tell him.
Mother, have you seen him again?
Yes, he came up to me in the park, and he took me to see her. To see... but I didn't recognize her voice, John.
He took you down to the jail? Well, that's why we can't tell him, Mother. I mean, it's his job to persecute innocent people.
No, he'd believe us, John. Unless you're lying again. You are lying. Look at you. You are guilty.
Mother, darling, please.
Mother, darling. Listen to you. Pleading for love, mercy, all the things you've scoffed at. Now you're asking for mother love. Confess to the FBI, John. You've given up your faith. But your church would have sent you to them anyway.
I'll reach my own decisions, Mother.
You have to make one big one right now, John.
Mother, if you will stand by me, I know that I can show you the light. After I make my speech to the graduating class...
After you what? Oh, no, you're not. Just because my son has been poisoned, I'll not let him infect other mothers' sons and daughters. Or you planning to make them over to your pattern? Made in your image and likeness? God help them.
Look, before Father gets back, please give me the key.
The key. Yes, the key to your freedom. So you'll be free to go on making other young people as wretched as you are. Spreading despair. Oh, disguised as hope.
Well, now, Mother, how do you plan to stop me?
I'll tell all I know, if I must. And if you don't, I must. But I haven't lost all faith in you.
There are issues in the world today, Mother, that transcend a mother and son.
Yes. There are things that are far greater than you and me. And we have to face them. Not as mother and son, but as individuals. The cord is severed. All right. So, as an individual, I believe in human dignity, truth.
Well, you certainly aren't talking as a mother now. But you're ill, dear. You're talking insanely.
Am I?
Well, in your state of mind, dear, no one would believe what you're saying. And I'd be forced to agree with them. A woman in your time of life, dear, under a doctor's care, 2 boys in uniform, a husband, my father, inflaming you with patriotic fanaticism about spies and traitors.
John, you couldn't. Do you mean that you might perhaps have me put in a sanitarium, maybe? I wish your father had come. I want to give him the key. Dan, I can't fight much longer.
Is it in your purse?
No, it isn't. What are you going to do, John? Use force and violence on your mother?
Someday, Mother, you'll understand how big our fight is.
I do now. I do now.
No, you don't, dear. There are millions on my side.
And millions on my side. And what a fight you have on your hands.
Wait a minute, Mother. Don't say a word about this.
Why not? Dan.
Hello, Mrs. Jefferson.
Come in, Mr. Stedman. This is my son, John.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Stedman. You couldn't have come at a worse time. My mother is very ill.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Well,
hear
my
that.
father will be here any minute with the doctor, but we're terribly worried about her. She's been imagining all sorts of things.
He came at a good time. Came at a good time. Come in, Mr. Stedman. You too, John. Go ahead. You start it, Mr. Stedman.
I would like to ask a few questions.
Yes, indeed, I am. That's right.
That is, if your
I'm
mother's
prepared.
condition will permit.
Well, obviously
I
it
want to
doesn't.
get this
I'd like to ask you a few
straightened out
questions
for once
myself
and
first.
We gather information. We don't give it out.
Mr. Stedman, you know that it's within our rights to ask you to leave this house immediately.
No, John. This is my house. It has a mortgage on it. You know that, John. We always thought it was such a wonderful mortgage. Maybe the bank will come and throw us all out. I'd like to get rid of this house. It's old-fashioned. Just an old-fashioned American home.
Well, now that should give you an idea of my mother's condition.
Mrs. Jefferson, I would like to ask you, where did you go after you left me?
Oh. You take over whenever you want to. So, after you left me, could I tell this in my own way?
Certain.
I'll get back to your,
All right.
I went to a church because I was a confused stranger down there. And a church is a traveler's aid to people who don't know which way to turn.
That would straighten out a lot of people.
Oh. They should try the church. Then they'd begin to remember things that they've lost. Like honor. My sacred word of honor. Tell them about their sacred word of honor.
Mother will beat a drum next, singing Glory, Hallelujah. And maybe you will march behind her.
Don't talk like that about your mother. There's nothing petty about your mother, is there?
No.
You'd be nice to her. You promise. Promise.
I promise. Those two boys of yours, those two halfbacks, they're gonna be marching soon, aren't they? Hmm?
Yes. They'll sing with us. He died to make men holy. They may die to make men free. There they are. Yeah. They called me from San Francisco. What fight they had. Do you remember, John? Hmm?
Yes, dear.
Many's the game they pulled out of the fire when time was running out. When time was running out, John? Yes. You never played, did you?
No, dear.
I think sometimes it hurt you when your father and I jumped up and down cheering for them. But you remember that I whispered to you, keep on studying. There are other goals, John. Now we're cheering for Ben and Chuck again. They're fighting on God's side now, and I'm fighting with them.
The doctor will be here in a minute, darling.
You listen to me, John. You've got to get in this game, and you've got to carry the ball yourself.
Oh, you're doing all right.
I'm carrying it now, but I want to pass it to you. Take the ball, John. I don't want to make this last play. John, time's running out. We can't stop that clock. John, take the ball. Before the clock runs out, John. I'm cheering for you now. My son, John. My son, John. My son,
Mother, why
John.
don't you go
My
upstairs and
son.
lie down, darling?
There's the gun. We lost. That was a tough one to lose.
Mother. Mother?
Take him away. Take him away. He has to be... You have to be punished, John.
You look a little sick.
I used to spank your little bottom. But you're big now. You're big.
Mother, darling, will you listen?
Conscience must be nauseated. The lower you sink, the higher you rise in your party, don't you, John?
Come on, Doc. Go on in, Doc. She's right upstairs in the bedroom. You know where it is.
No, she's right in there.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing here?
Oh, wait just a minute, Mr. Jefferson. What's gone on since you left?
About John?
Is it, Dad?
She's taken an awful beating.
Yeah.
I was just saying that we ought to sell this place. Now
Yes,
we got
yes,
to get
dear.
rid of it because it's too much.
What?
Too big for anyone.
Just be
There's
quiet.
We have to move away from here, Dad.
Our witness is in a pretty bad way. Testimony may never be any good now. Well, for the moment, it looks like our case is shot. I'll be in as soon as I can. Right.
Trying to get a grip on yourself, Dan.
How can I with a traitor for a son?
He said he couldn't prove that.
How did he happen to let him get away?
He said he couldn't hold him without Lucille. And we won't know about her.
He got out of here before I killed him.
Please, I'm trying to get her to sleep.
How is she?
She's not going to lose her mind.
My own flesh and blood. Doc, you've known me for a long time, haven't you? I never in my life have I done anything.
I know, dear. I know.
And she's an angel. from heaven.
Let's pray for John.
All right, dear. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us.
Attention, please. Flight 92 for Lisbon, now boarding at the concourse, gate number 20. All aboard Flight 92, please.
Hello. Yeah. John. I understand you're on your way to Lisbon. No. What happened? You're not going.
Passenger John Jefferson. The plane for Lisbon is leaving immediately from gate number 20.
You want time to make a big decision. Well, do you want to come over here and let me help you make it? By yourself. Well, John, I don't understand you. You want to do one decent thing. What is this decent thing you want to do? Well, no, we don't make deals. Well, yes, certainly everybody's life has some purpose, even Judas.
Passenger Jefferson, this is the final call.
John, does anyone else know you're not going to Lisbon? Now listen. John, use whatever free will you have left. Make your own decision and get over here. All right. All right.
What is the deal?
Well,
do we make out a warrant?
Maybe we do.
John, what an honor. Oh, I'd give my life to make you truthful. I'm cheering for you this time, John. I'm cheering for you now. Go on, rise to it. You can do it.
Everybody has some purpose in life, even Judas. John, I don't understand you. You want to do one decent thing. What is this decent thing you want to do?
Just because my son has been poisoned, I'm not going to let him infect other mothers' sons and daughters. You're not going to change the course of their lives and break their parents' hearts. You're not going to tell those young Americans to use their God-given liberty to destroy liberty.
Members of the graduating class and their fathers and mothers,
I mention your parents because I address you as representing their tomorrows.
I wish you'd call. Give up. Name names.
Some people would rather he didn't, I imagine. Hello? Yes, John. You finished your commencement address and you want me to hear it. Well, John, look, I warned you about us making any kind of deals. John? John? Yes, and someone else can hear you, too. John, get out of there as fast as you can. Take Pennsylvania Avenue.
Is there someone rather you didn't get there? I think we're being followed. We'll soon find out. Hold on, mister.
At least the driver was. Hey, just a minute.
John?
Hello, Mr. Stedman. They got me.
Yeah, I know who. Try not to move, John. The ambulance will be here in a minute.
I'm sorry. I wanted to make a speech to the graduating class.
Where is it, John? Do you have it?
I haven't got it. It's in my office. I made a recording.
A recording?
I'll get it. I'll get right over there.
If I think the students should hear it, they'll hear it. I might add that he was to have been given the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws this day. So the speech was found in his office by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You will now hear it verbatim as recorded by John Jefferson, class of 1941.
Members of the graduating class and their fathers and mothers, I mention your parents because I address you as representing their tomorrows. Sometimes this day is called graduation. Sometimes commencement. For you, as for me, it will be both. But my life will be altogether different from yours. By now, a plane has arrived in Lisbon. It would have carried me far beyond the laws of my native land. But no plane, no means of transportation, nothing can take a man away from himself. He lives with himself day and night. His conscience lives with him. Its voice will not be stilled. Mine warned me that I would not be free in Lisbon. that I would only find my freedom here. So here I stand, hardly believing that but a few years back I sat down there in my cap and gown, like all of you. I looked like you then. I felt like you feel today. Ready to go, forward, full of zeal, full of purpose. I was going to help make a better world. I was flattered when I was immediately recognized as an intellect. I was invited to homes where only superior minds communed. It excited my freshman fancy to hear daring thoughts that I wouldn't have dreamed of when I lived at home. A bold defiance of the only authorities I'd ever known, my church and my mother and father. I know that many of you have experienced that stimulation. But stimulants lead to narcotics. As the seller of habit-forming dope gives the innocent their first inoculations with a cunning worthy of a serpent, there are other snakes lying in wait to satisfy the desire of the young to dedicate themselves to something positive, to give their existence purpose. And the lure is to every young American sense of justice, their love of fair play, that makes all decent men rebel against the evil forces that exploit the weak. With the purest and noblest motives, we eagerly embrace an organized, definite, and active movement to alleviate the suffering all around us. Our beautiful liberalism is now aroused, and we have faith in ourselves, our comrades. Somewhere along the line, our brain has been numbed, so that we have substituted faith in man for faith in God. Even now, the eyes of Soviet agents are on some of you. They have observed your abilities and seen qualities that I once possessed. It's too late to save me. It is not too late for you to save yourselves. No one warned me as solemnly as I am warning you now. Hold fast to honor. It's sacred. No one tried to live the part they wrote for me, more than I did. But living it, with no spiritual compass, I lost all sense of direction. Any means justified their ends. Shameless falsehood, self-abasement, treachery. And before I realized the enormity of the steps I had taken, I was an enemy of my country and the servant of a foreign power. Now you know that the honor conferred upon me in this citation is false. Every word in it is a lie, because I am a living lie. I am a traitor. I am a native American communist spy. And may God have mercy on my soul. There is another paper waiting for me, this time truthfully worded, a warrant for my arrest. That is my proper degree, and this is also my commencement day, the beginning of a new life, so help me God.
There's their chapel. Let's pray for John.
There was a lot of good in what he said. Some of those...
Yes, let's hope they forget what he did. And pray they remember what he said today.